We're going to call the 612 item, hearing consideration of hearing request regarding code enforcement notice of nuisance and order to abate 14526 Snead Drive, Cobb, APN number 052-042-11, property owner Jose Barbosa Garcia. And with that, I'll turn it over to community development. Oh, we need to swear in, I'm sorry. If anyone here for a witness or staff that's going to testify needs to raise your right hand and be sworn in.
All right. So if you're on Zoom and you're going to speak to this, please raise your hand in Zoom. That includes county staff. Okay, Craig Weatherby has his hand up. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
I do.
Thank you, Mireya Turner, Community Development Director. I will turn this presentation over to Code Enforcement Manager Marcus Beltramo.
Good afternoon. My name is Marcus Beltramo. I'm the manager of the Code Enforcement Division for the County of Lake. You can sit down for right now, unless you wish to stand. You have the other choice.
I can stand.
The property here today, 14526 Snead Drive, Cobb, California, received a request for a hearing in front of the Board of Supervisors, basically contesting our notice. A notice of nuisance in order to abate was issued against the property for violations of the Lake County Code. That being said, we'll go ahead and start with our presentation. We always like to give a map so people have some context as to the location of the property. The property is a vacant piece of land. It's in the Cobb area. Based on our last board hearing, seems like a lot more information. The board was seeking a lot more information, so I included a lot more information that may be relevant to the situation for the board's review. The property is in the name of Jose Barbosa Garcia. He's been on the property or recorded on title since February 5th, 2025. The property is zoned as a single-family residential property. The primary purpose is to establish an area for residential dwelling units. The property is currently a vacant lot with no improvement or structures. The property is at the assessment office. The property is only being reassessed for land. No structures are being assessed for any value. There's no permits on file, building permits on file. There's no planning permits on file, although a grading questionnaire was completed by Mr. Garcia regarding some grading issues. Water and sewer, I believe it's at the street, so service is available, but they would have to connect a water line and pay for that service. So there is no utilities or infrastructure to the property currently. Regarding septic information, environmental health had a letter on file. The director of the Environmental Health Department, Craig Weatherby, is on Zoom in case you need more commentary or for him to comment on the letter or to address any specific issues related to the septic, as he's an expert in that field. But some pertinent statements that were contained in that letter is that the conditions in this area of the site do not appear to meet minimum requirements as set forth by the Lake County standards for subsurface and alternate sewage and non-water carried water disposal. Another line in that letter was, given the lot size and or conditions which exist on or around this property, there is not sufficient area to allow for development and the construction of an adequate disposal system. Another excerpt, the property has been denied based on soil modeling. I hope I said that right. I apologize. I haven't seen that one. Indicating that the depth to the winter water table is above acceptable limits. A winter recheck can be made to determine the actual depth to the water table, and that that person at the time was to contact the office. So we did receive a complaint on this property. There was a complaint made by a person of the public. These are the photos that were attached to the complaint. As you can see on site, is under our definition, it's a recreational vehicle, but it's a trailer, and some miscellaneous storage that's occurring on the property. Code enforcement looks at anything that's stored on the property beyond 30 days. We consider that storage. We consider that not to be temporary use. We consider that be permanent use. So if it's over 30 days, we believe that we consider that storage. And for this property, because it is zoned an R1 property, it first has to have a primary residential dwelling unit on the property. Storage is considered a secondary or subordinate use to the primary purpose. Code enforcement then, after receiving the complaint in May of 2025, went out to the property, and these are the photos we took of what's occurring on the property or existing. Again, you have the trailer of vehicles parked there, plus some miscellaneous items. Those miscellaneous items are also considered storage items as well. Just another picture from a different angle so you can see how the property was being used in May of 2025. We went back, so Chris went out there, made contact with the people at the property, gave them 2 weeks to remove the items from the property. When he came back in June of 2025, he took these photos. In this instance, there's no car here, but there is a trailer, and then looks like some cinder blocks and some other miscellaneous items. Again, this property is to be a vacant lot with no foreign materials or debris or issues or anything located on the property or situated on the property. Here's just another photo from a different angle. So we issued a notice of violation and a notice of nuisance in order to abate against the property for several violations of the Lake County Code, the main one being storage on the property or anything contrary, use contrary to Chapter 21, which is the Lake County zoning ordinance. Mr. Mr. Garcia filed a request for a hearing. This is his request. He states in there, as part of his request, he gives a reason why he's contesting our notice, and he provided a reason there. Staff recommends the Board of Supervisors uphold the notice of nuisance in order to abate and instructs staff to move forward with its abatement processes to remove all issues situated on the property, to remove them from the property. And at this time, this concludes my presentation.
And would you be having environmental health testify, or is he just available for
I
questions?
had environmental health here today in case questions arose.
Okay.
If the board had any questions, I am not the expert as it relates to the septic. The letter was a old letter, so issues may have changed, and I felt it was appropriate to have the director here to testify as to any issues. There may be new information that he could provide. Also, this may be information for the appellant, so he understands his property as well. So I just had him on standby in case the board needed any material expert information.
Okay. Does the board have any questions
I
right
have
now
none.
for our staff before we move on?
I'd just like to also add, Code Enforcement Officer Christopher Colin's here. He was directly on site. He can answer any direct questions too.
Okay. Do you have a question for our
I
staff?
do. I was just wondering about the septic, what was going on with that, if there's no septic tank, and so I was more interested in what Craig had to say.
Well, first, there is no septic to my knowledge on the
That's what I
property.
was getting at. I
just
want to
wanted
know
add
what's
that
going
as
on.
part of the building process, which it's my understanding Mr. Garcia wishes to build there someday, that's one of the first steps you have to take in the building process. And from our last hearing, I thought it'd be relevant just to have that information, so that seems to be something the board was interested in our last hearing.
Yeah, I was interested in what's going on right now pertaining to the sewage, as well as I know that you had mentioned that it looks like the soils are not conducive to having a septic tank put in place because of the water levels. Is that right, Mr. Craig?
Weatherby, do you want to address Supervisor Owens' question?
Sure. So yes, this property does have a very old site evaluation that was conducted. It was conducted under the current LCR rules and regulations that we currently enforce today. A letter was issued in 1992 for a denial. It's very rare that we actually get an outright denial on a property, but in this property's case, based on what was found, that denial would stand today as well. The conditions of soil for this property are such that we have a very high groundwater. There is off-road drainage going through this property, and it's the side of a mountain with a lot of shale. So treatment in a septic system is really not appropriate on this site. It is entirely possible that an engineered system may work out, but even that's kind of a difficult proposition for the soil conditions of this particular lot. As we stand right now, there is no septic system on that site. No septic tank, no leach field. Any sewage that's being generated on site is either being discharged on site or it's being collected in a temporary capacity and then hauled off. Both activities for residential are prohibited under our Lake County rules.
Thank you.
Any further question? Wait till, okay. So at this point, we can turn it over and allow Mr. Garcia to provide his testimony to the Board of Supervisors.
First of all, I want to apologize for my sudden, abrupt arrival to this county. So, in terms of the septic system, I'm working with this engineer, so I have the grading and the septic for that property. I provided him the report that was made. I contacted environmental health for it. Based on that, he engineered the system. I need to go to the address to go drop it off. In terms of like an architect having the building design, it's in the works right now. I do not have it completed. In terms of his question about like the sewage disposal, I am collecting it. I am hauling it off. Yeah.
So I just want to be clear. So your testimony is that you have hired an engineer that did an engineered septic design, that you're in possession of a report
That's correct.
that you need to deliver to environmental health that they have not seen yet?
That's
Is that what you're stating?
Yes.
Okay. Any
I
questions?
can confirm that I have not yet received any report from anybody on this property.
Thank you, Craig. And he did acknowledge that he has not turned one in at this point. Supervisor Pyska?
Sure. Marcus, can you pull the pictures back up, please? Sorry, Johanna.
Which one do you want?
Here, okay, so you have the pictures from, I think, May. Those are the first pictures before the road was done?
These are the May so this
Okay,
is plain
yeah, stop right there. So that's before the road was done, so that was in May. And you can't really see, but there's a big pile of branches in between the road and the car. And then if you go to the June pictures, you can see the branches there. And now you've added sand or gravel or something on top of all that fill.
Yeah. I was made aware of that. I like, not to put blame on nobody, but I wasn't responsible for that. It was my dad that once he was around, like, he wanted to do things around the property, and that's kind of like what he started doing. But I was made aware that I have to take that off. I haven't started that because I had something else that came up. But I do plan on hauling that off also.
Okay. And you can see the highway right above your lot. And you see those guardrails?
Yes.
The highway slipped out because the water table is so high there. This is not a safe place to be building. If you want to go through the process and turn in your plans and see if an engineered system will work there, you can go through the process, but you cannot live there. It's against our code. You can't be living on site and storing things unless you have a building permit. And that's really what we're talking about today. So if you're working with an engineer and you've got some plans and you want to take them through environmental health, you're allowed to do that. But today, you cannot have all these things on this property, and you need to clean up all of that debris that's there, okay?
I understand.
That's what this is about today.
Yes.
Anything further from the board? No. Supervisor Sabatier?
I mean, hopefully there's you said your family is helping you. Hopefully, there's somebody that can help you to store what you have here in the appropriate locations. Hopefully, you can get some permits and do what you want to do. And hopefully, that'll be in the right order of operations, because I want you to find success in what you're attempting to do. But at this point, that is not the appropriate way to find that level of success. And so hopefully you can get that cleaned up so we don't have to do it for you. That would be the best way.
Oh, yes.
That way you can organize how that works. But right now we've been waiting and it just hasn't happened. So I hope you find what you're looking for eventually.
No, yeah. I just haven't started that because I was taking care of another thing I had. But I do plan on taking that to a disposal facility with my truck.
And I just want to add one thing. The way you started, there's no need to apologize. Welcome to the area. Let's do it right. But there's no need to apologize for abruptly coming into the county. I showed up in the county one day too. There's no need to apologize. But let's make sure that we do this correctly so that you can find what you're looking for.
No, yes.
And where do you have staff that wanted to provide testimony? If
He's here for questions if you have any.
okay, he raised his hand, so I didn't. If you need to come up and state your name and speak to the mic, if.
My name is Christopher Colin. I'm code enforcement officer with the County of Lake. Good afternoon. I just wanted to put my input on that pile of debris. We don't have anything written up for the debris. It's only for the storage that occurred after the notices were written. So right now there's no timetable for that. Only that which is elapsed for the accessory use, the storage of the trailer and other miscellaneous.
Thank you. Did you have a comment?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that even in your March 27 photos, it looks like there's some debris there off to in that basic area. Yeah, right there, you can see it on the right-hand side. There was already debris there.
That was essentially like
Yeah,
the cleanup, and then we piled it together.
sure.
But I wanted to actually, like, instead of dumping it in that,
Pushing it over the bank.
yeah, I wanted to collect it.
Yeah,
Like, my dad was around. He's no longer here,
okay.
but he did that. You know, I'm sorry for that.
That's okay. No, what I'm basically trying to say is, I know that you didn't create that. It just, you moved it a little bit, is what I was trying to get at.
Yeah.
So anyway, welcome and good luck. And I hope all this works out.
Thanks. And for Jessica, so I just want to clarify. So my plan for that property, I wanted to like do like some like heavy construction, like I like metal, like steel beams. I even have the email of like the architect. I do plan on like having like a small like kind of like condo style, like where it's like the garage and then like the living space on the top. Like 2-car garage. In terms of like the water table and like you said like about the rain, is that like an absolute or can that be worked around?
I think the most important thing right now is to follow the proper process. And when you buy a lot and you want to start building a home, there is a process you have to follow, and community development staff can help you with that. But what we can't allow is people to move onto the property before that process has begun. That's really the issue. We have, this is public safety, right? You say you're removing your waste from the trailer. Some people don't. We don't know what's going on, and that could potentially cause.
I know.
So to live on a parcel in Lake County, you have to have water, you have to have septic, you have to have a lot of things. And we do have a pathway where you can temporarily live in a trailer, but you have to already have your building permit submitted and approved. You have to be working on building your home. So if you did all those things, potentially you could live on the property while you're building it. But you kind of jumped around in the process here. And we have to we have to hold firm to our processes, because sometimes these situations are very dangerous to the environment and the people that live in the community. That's why we have these standards, this process, and these ordinances. So that's why this has to get abated. That's the first priority before we can start looking at anything else.
Okay, so, yeah, so again, we're not ruling on whether you can build or what you can build or how you can build, just this situation. Having that in mind, do you have any further testimony that you want to provide? Okay, and anything else from back to,
Yes, thank you.
hey, no, we haven't got there yet.
Given our reluctance to spend taxpayer dollars to remove the trailer and the savings, we'd like to amend or recommend an amendment to the motion to authorize code enforcement to move forward with the abatement if it's not corrected within 2 weeks.
Okay,
Can you do that?
okay, so
Can I get more than 2 weeks?
they're offering 2 weeks. That's what we have to make a decision on.
I can make it work.
Okay.
Okay, good.
All right, so if there's nothing further from either side, then I'm going to go ahead and open it to the public. Wait a second, we have staff raising their hand.
I just want to sorry, Christopher Colon, Code Enforcement once again. I just wanted to clarify, it's just the storage on the lot, not in the trailer, not 2 weeks to do that, and the debris in the gully there. Okay.
Yeah, we need you to get closer to the mic. We
Sorry.
can't hear it on video.
I just wanted to clarify that it's just the things that are being stored on the parcel and the travel trailer, not the debris in the gully that's given the 2 weeks. So it's
Correct.
not that whole
That's
stuff
easy.
in there. Okay.
Although we would not be opposed if you would voluntarily like to move the debris, it'd be a nice thing for the community. We'd appreciate it.
All right, with that, I'll go ahead and open this for public comment. If you have comment, you need to approach the mic, state your name, and you'll have 3 minutes.
Thank you. My name is Emily Jane Vitale, and I live across the street from this situation. And I'm really concerned because there is no water, there is no sewer, and there's no electric. And there is a generator he uses. He pours gas in an open field, the open area, which concerns me. The other part is there's no water. They were getting water out of the pond for a while. The father was hauling water up. So it just concerns me. It's a mess. I want him to build. I don't want this mess across the street from me. I'm hoping that the cars are, he has a Tesla apart in pieces. I don't know. It's just like a shade tree mechanic area now too. So I'm hoping, I was the one who called the county about the road debris. When they ripped up the roads, they dumped the debris into the drainage ditch. I called the county because I was concerned. It just didn't seem right. So I'm hoping to take that into, that debris is all going to come down into that area with that big pipe, and it's going to get clogged up and we're going to have a flood. So I'm hoping that debris, when that first rain comes, it's big rain, it's going to be ugly. So I'm hoping that gets cleared up quickly. Thank you.
Thank you. And Supervisor Sabatier?
I just want to clarify that I understood right, that in doing the road work, we put that debris there?
We need to look into that. I don't know.
Just because, I mean, the gentleman needs to take care of what is his, but if that is our doing, I just wanted to say we should take responsibility for that. I don't know if it's true or
Yeah,
not, but that's what I just wanted to clarify that that's what I heard.
Gelati trucks.
The
Gelati trucks. The sweeper came easily 15, 20 times.
Sure.
And then when a big dump truck came and dumped all the, macadam into the area.
Okay.
I just want to make sure we
Yeah,
take responsibility and not
absolutely.
dump it on someone
We
else.
need to follow up with Public Works on this, because that is a drainage. And that's why I was wondering why, that load of sand or gravel appeared after the road work was done.
Okay, is there any further public comment?
And, yeah, because that is a drainage, and we do have culverts under the road. And a
Yeah, you
lot
can
of water moves through that area.
Okay. So was there any other public comment online? If there's no other public comment, I'll bring this back to the board for consideration of action.
What's the recommended action now?
It's the motion as on the staff report, but a slight amendment. So we do recommend that the Board of Supervisors uphold the non-ODA, the notice of nuisance in order to abate. And if not corrected 2 weeks from today's hearing, instruct staff to move forward with its abatement processes to remove the recreational vehicle and other miscellaneous items from the property, restoring the lot back to a vacant parcel and in compliance with the Lake County zoning ordinance.
And
Thank you, Supervisor. If I may add, that the correction that's referenced by Director Turner would be done by the property owner under that 2-week period. That
so
would be done.
moved.
We have a motion.
Second.
And a second. Call for a vote. All in favor?
I
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? No opposition. Motion carries.